So web scraping, we're going to be looking into just how to do this and how to get around security logging that a lot of websites might do to stay under the radar. Now, web scraping, very much a gray area. Okay, so when it comes to something like this, obviously it's best to do it when the site is fine with you using automation on it. But I'm not endorsing any, definitely not endorsing any necessarily black hat uses of this. But I will say that if you want to avoid detection, a lot of it comes down to making your request look like it came from an actual web browser. And we're going to be exploring that in this series. Now, in this video in particular, we're just going to be covering the basics of web scraping, and then we're going to move on to how to actually make it look like a believable request that would come from a human using a web browser. So this example here is just to show you a proof of concept how to use it. Now, we're going to be using Python for this. Of course, you can use JavaScript. You can use pretty much any programming language, really. But yeah, Python is the most popular for us as security people, and it's what I use a lot, so I'm going to show you guys how to do it with this. Now, I'm using the request module, as you'll see here. You could also use URL lib if you so prefer. But Beautiful Soup is almost universally a go-to module to use when you're trying to grab specific stuff. I suppose you could use the RE module for regex if you wanted as well. Now, to test this out, I'm using this particular URL here. Let's just go here and see what it would look like normally. It might be of help. So if I navigate to this directory, what we'll see is this page here, very basic HTML page, and it has some sample text for us, right? So with that, the first thing we're going to do is define the URL, obviously, right? And for the actual page, right, we want to, if you're using request, the way to do it is say request.get and then pass in the URL, which we supplied up here, right? And we'll assign that to the page variable. Now, one thing to note is this is going to return an object. It's not going to actually return the HTML. We need to run the text method on the object in order to get HTML back. So upon doing that, what we see is just a bunch of HTML, and it's not formatted very nicely. So if I print soup, for example, I'll just show you guys for sake of explanation here. And let's see if we can do a multi-line print. I'm not sure exactly how to do this on Python. It's been a while since I tried it. It doesn't look like that was the multi-line. Oh, right. It's actually this for multi-line comment. Let me just, oops. Boom. Okay. So yeah, like for example, if I run this, and we'll do scrape.py. We don't really need to run this as root in this case. Let me just remove that. So yeah, if I do this, we get back a bunch of, all the HTML from the page, right? So what we need to do then is we can grab, Beautiful Soup allows us to grab specific data from different tags, right? So we have a number of paragraph tags. We can grab the text within the tags, right, to eliminate the tags here. So I'm going to be stepping through how to do that, right? So first thing we could do is we could scrape the, from a paragraph tag, right? So if we just say soup find all and then just pass in P for paragraph tag or whatever tag we wanted to scrape, if it was H1, we just put H1 there. What it's going to do is grab everything inside the tag, including the tag itself. So for paragraph, it's going to give us all of this stuff. So from there, we can actually, we see like when we grab the paragraphs, it grabs all of these, right? Well, it's actually going to be, if we just ran this, it's going to have a list of all of these paragraph tags. They're going to be inside their own list. See if I can maybe show you guys that. So if I print soup dot find all paragraph, just like this, then what you'll see is that we get it back with Let me just comment everything out here. Kind of annoying how it does that. But yeah, so this, for example, let me just show you. So you can really picture what I'm telling you here. They're all included in a list here. So we can actually index these, right? And we can grab the text, which is all the stuff inside the tags for a specific index in the list. So if I say, for example, 2 here, they'll allow me to grab the 3rd index. Remember, there's 0 indexed. So if I do that, scroll up here, we can scrape from the paragraph text here. And then, well, let me remove this line because that's throwing it off here, and run it again. So now if I go up to the top, we can see from the paragraph tag, it only grabbed the text, not up like we saw here with all the tags. We only grab the text with the get text method here that we ran. And we could do the same thing for classes. So there was a number of classes as well, and one class was chorus. So when you define the class, you say class underscore equals, and then give the name of the class. So if we look for the chorus class, we can grab all the text within that class. You see we do that here. And then similarly, we could do it with an ID. So any of the IDs that exist in the HTML. And if there's multiple instances of that ID, we can say, hey, just give me the first index or second index, third, or so on and so forth. And then we do the get text method to grab all the text inside of that. And then we could also combine multiple things in one soup command, which is pretty interesting, right? So if we do a soup find all paragraph, chorus, 4th, we can grab something very specific. So that's really good if you have things that are nested, for example. Or if you have like here, look, there's all these paragraph tags, but they all have different class names, right? So this paragraph tag is of class verse, class chorus, and this one's also class chorus. So there's 2 of them of class chorus and 2 of class verse, right? So if we say, hey, give me all the paragraph tags that are of class chorus, then we're only going to get 2 paragraph tags instead of 4, right? Only the ones with that class name. And now inside of there, we can look and see, okay, what IDs are there? Well, there is an ID of 4th right here, right? And this one has an ID of 2nd. So if we say, hey, with the ID of 4th, then we are just getting this specific paragraph tag. So that is what we do there. So if we run this, we're grabbing only this specific text inside here. So that's something that you can see when I combine them all into one. There you go, right? And we can also iterate through elements. In this case, they're all 1. Now, if I actually instead, when I'm iterating through the elements, if I don't specify an ID, then this would probably be a better example here, really. Let's take a look. See, now when I iterate through, it is different than the one above because it's actually grabbing both paragraph tags that have the class chorus, because remember, there were 2 of them. So yeah, this is just a basic example of how to use Beautiful Soup and requests, or URL lib, whatever you prefer, to do some web scraping. Now, however, we didn't pass any headers, and from the perspective of the server, it's pretty easy to detect that we're a bot. So we're going to be looking at some ways to obfuscate that and how to simulate an actual user. And we're going to actually spin up our own web server to see what our requests are looking like from the perspective of the server and the logging, to see if we can do any kind of stealthy stuff here to get by some of the proper, commonplace safeguards against web scraping and botting and automation and all that. So if that sounds interesting, definitely stay tuned to this channel for that content. Let me know what you think of it as well down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys over in these videos on screen now. If you want to go into some more Python stuff, this is my Black Hat Python series. So check that out. I'll see you guys right over there. Thanks for watching.